Hello and welcome to the Issues of Life. My name is Ted, and we've been talking about Proverbs 4:23 that says, "Guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flow the issues of life." And so today we're just going to do a brief recap of what we've been talking about. You can go back and listen to the previous sessions to catch up. So guard, the word guard here means to protect, to take care of your heart. And in this instance, heart is referring to your soul, which is your mind and your will and your emotions. And so we're talking about what are the best ways to deal with the issues that we face on a daily basis, the circumstances, situations, etc. And here in Proverbs, it's telling us to guard, to protect our souls, our mind, our will, and emotions, so that we can more effectively deal with our circumstances and situations and make better decisions. Now, we also established that in order to do this, we need wisdom. Wisdom is the soundness of an action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. In other words, the correct, most effective way to apply the information that we received in order to produce the best outcome possible. Okay, that's wisdom. So for wisdom, we need information. And we need good, reliable, truthful information in order to have the best outcome. So in order to have good, reliable, truthful information, we need a good, reliable, truthful source, right? And so every day we are literally bombarded with massive amounts of information available right at our fingertips. And so the problem is we absorb all this information and we need to consider the source. Is the source trustworthy? Is it? The problem is that normally the source of the information that we're receiving are people. And people, as we know, are not perfect. People can make mistakes. People can be wrong, and people can lie. And so we need to have a trustworthy, reliable source of information in order to have the confidence that the decisions that we're making are based on good information so that we can have the best outcome. Now, the only person that is 100% right 100% of the time is God. Simple as that. God is always right 100% of the time. That's why the Bible says in Proverbs, says that the beginning of wisdom is knowing God. Knowing God, or the fear of God, is the beginning of all wisdom. Why? Well, that just makes sense. If you don't know the source of 100% reliable information that's going to give you the confidence that you're making the right decisions, well, you're not always going to have good wisdom. So knowing God is the beginning of all wisdom. In 2 Peter, it says this. It says, "For his divine power has bestowed on us absolutely everything necessary for a dynamic spiritual life and godliness through true and personal knowledge of him who called us by his own glory and excellence." Okay? So by knowing him, God has given us everything that we need to have a good, godly good, godly, spiritual life. Now, we are created and wired, so to speak, to solve problems. God said when he made man, he said, go and have dominion over the world. Or in other words, dominate it. Or in other words, you might use the word conquer. And what that simply means is he's given us the capacity to solve problems, right? So we are wired in such a way that when things happen, we try to figure it out, and we want to solve the problem. But if we don't have the correct information in order to do that, well, it's not going to work out so well. And I found this out in my life. I spent a large time in my life, a good portion of my life, trying to figure things out for myself, trying to do it myself, because I thought I knew a lot of things about a lot of things. Now, one of the most incredible discoveries that I made was the fact that God is smarter than me. So, and he says in Isaiah, it says, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. My ways aren't your ways. And as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than yours. So we need to accept the fact that we don't know everything, and what we do know could very well be wrong. And that's called humility. We need to be humble enough to realize, hey, I don't have all the answers, and maybe what I know could be wrong. I need to have a reliable source of information in order to have the confidence that I'm making the right decisions. And the source is God. He's 100% right 100% of the time. So what I realized is that a lot of the ways that I thought, a lot of the information that I had was just not right. And I had to make a commitment to rethink a lot of things, to reprogram the way I was thinking, and get good, solid, reliable, truthful information right from the source, who is God. And the Bible says in Romans 12:12, it says, do not be conformed to this world any longer with its spiritual values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature by the renewing of your mind. And then it goes on to say, so that you may prove for yourself what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you. So we're going to continue talking about this in our next session. Thanks again. This is the Issues of Life.